Welcome to Speaking in Your Basement. It is lucky episode 13. Now, earlier today, I was working with a mentee, and something out of Stephen Covey's book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, which I'll probably reference quite a bit because I'm a bit of a fan, came up. And it was something to the effect that the steps themselves are evolutionary, but at the end, the net effect is revolutionary. And I think that's the case with speaking. I think that's the case with a lot of things in life. That's absolutely been the case for me with speaking. You have little things you'll dial in while you're practicing your speaking, while you're doing your daily practice. Little things you'd like to do less of, you'll gradually do them less over time. Little things you'd like to do more of, you'll gradually do them more over time. And one of the big things, you'll just get more comfortable speaking. That's one of the big initial wins. Usually happens someplace within the first month or two. You get more comfortable speaking out loud from practicing speaking out loud. And of course, the next step is to make sure you're getting some speaking time in with other people, then possibly talking to multiple other people at the same time, small audiences. You can gradually build up your audiences if you want to do more public speaking. You can gradually get more comfortable speaking to new people if you're just wanting to network or just meet people at random and, be able to chat up people that you just met. But you take all these little steps, and each of the little steps is kind of incremental. It's not a huge effect. You'll just notice you get a little more comfortable. And again, early on, the first few weeks of practicing something new, a lot of times there'll be a moment where it's just not as big a deal as it used to be. That's usually the biggest effect you get early on. But gradually over time, lots of little things get a little bit better. It's like you're dialing in lots of little things. And so that's the evolutionary growth, the step-by-step growth that you take. And it's somewhat, it can be tedious if you don't get into the practice. You get into the practice, you just get to where you enjoy the practice, and it's fun playing with the new things, and it's fun speaking, and you're just having a good time with it. Over time, all those little things add up. But in addition to that, the net effect, the long-term effect, as well as the impact across your life, becomes huge. I mean, speaking's a big deal because any interaction you're having with another human being, but also the interactions you have with yourself, how you communicate with yourself, will be impacted by your practice of speaking. And the broad impact of that is tremendous. And another thing, as you're learning to dial little things in with your speaking, as you're learning to notice little subtle things and start to adjust them, start to get rid of the things you don't want and do more of the things you do want, you can do that in every area of your life. And the experience of that is powerful, not only because a lot of times when you take something seriously, it has a generative effect. You start finding more and more places in your life where that applies. That broad strategy of learning, of getting in consistent practice and finding little things you can adjust and gradually adjusting them to make them more the way you want them to be. You can gradually generalize that process to your entire life. Your communication is going to help with many of those things, and many of those things you might find outside of communication that you want to adjust can also improve your communication. It's a very powerful thing. The net effect is revolutionary. Over time, and across the entire system of your life, you improving your ability to speak, but more importantly,